Did you know that from the end of November to the end of December is considered to be the most stressful time of the year? According to a survey conducted by Needle, a company that manages consumer engagement surveys, they surveyed that 79% of Americans feel that this is the most stressful time of the year. The number one reason? All that shopping they have to do. In response to this demanding time of the year, today we'll talk about the two types of stressors and their associated signs and how your body may respond to these stressors. Good afternoon. My name is Carla Atkins, and I will be continuing on with your next segment of the Stress Management Workshop. I will be focusing on stress response. First, we're going to go over the two types of stressors. The first stressor is eustress. This is considered to be the positive, good stress. It is when you are faced with a challenge or an obstacle and you gladly accept it. It'll affect you physically and mentally. Some of the physical signs is euphoria, being calm, and some of the mental signs are being overly proud, and you may have improved efficiency. According to an article by Brock University in 2010, when the good stress becomes too much and you're no longer able to cope with it, the stress turns into a distress, which is the second type of stress. Distress is the negative or the bad stress. It can be physical, mental, and behavioral. The physical signs that you may experience are having a lump in your throat, dry mouth, increased nervousness, indigestion. You may be tense and restless and start to become sweaty. Some of the mental signs of distress are becoming impatient, irritation, not wanting to take good care of yourself, you're not motivated, and you may have low self-esteem. And from there, it will start to affect your behavior. With your behavior, you might start with substance abuse, and this include drinking more or smoking, which are all negative things that you don't want to do. Now that I've gone over the two types of stress and their signs, let's move on to the stress response. In the book, Manage Your Stress for a Happier Life by Terry Looker, he describes a stress response as an assessment of a demanding situation. If you can handle the situation, your stressors won't be activated, and the stress is considered within your normal limits of coping. The stress response is activated when you are uncomfortable or threatened in a situation. Examples of a stress response are life-threatening situations, impending deadlines at work, or you're put on probation at work. Now, the first type of response is the alarm response. This is the fight or flight response. That occurs when you are afraid, you're in a dangerous situation, or you feel that your life may be threatened. The second type of response is the resistance reaction response. This response is activated when you're faced with a long-term demand. Some examples of the long-term demands would be moving, finding a new home, starting a new job, and trying to protect your family. And over time, the stressors will be reduced once you adapt and find ways to cope with the stress. Both the alarm and reaction resistance response causes your body to release a hormone from your brain to cope and deal with the stress. Like Jenny May stated earlier in the workshop, an example is adrenaline. Adrenaline may cause your heart rate to go up, your blood pressure to go up, and you may begin sweating. Now that you're aware of the two types of stressors and their associated signs, and the two types of stress responses that you may encounter, you can now minimize your response by knowing what they are and what to look for. With the holidays among us, keep these in mind when traveling, tying up loose ends at work, hitting all the stores to get the Christmas shopping done, and when you're spending time with your friends and family. Thank you and have a good afternoon.